Hello everyone, this is Professor Sneha More. Welcome to the online lecture of Dr. D.Y. Patil Center for Management and Research. Today we are going to learn Unit 2, that is Components of Strategic Human Resource Management. Now firstly we are going to study Human Capital Management. That is a very important part of this unit. And the Human Capital Management short form is HCM. HCM means Human Capital Management is the more all-encompassing term describing functions that are part of the strategic management of human capital in an organization, from talent and applicant tracking to time and attendance and analytics. It is also includes budgeting, performance management, and onboarding as well as managing the implications of a distributed workforce includes state and country specific jurisdictional and legal requirements. And each criteria areas of business is managed and analyzed along with core HR data that is collected and provided to management to sustain effective decision making. Then we are going to study HR cost. HR cost. There are 4 types of HR cost. First one is acquisition cost. Second is training and development cost. Third one is welfare cost. And fourth one is other costs. Before that, we are going to study deeply in HR cost. Measuring human resource cost means HR cost, also called human resources costing, is a key component of HR accounting. HR cost means human capital management. It is related to accounting. According to Flamholz 1999, cost is a sacrifice incurred to obtain some anticipated benefits or services. This means that all cost has an expenses and assets components. Human resource costs are costs incurred to acquire or replace people like other costs. They have an expense and asset components. They may be composed of outlay and opportunity cost. They may have both direct and indirect cost elements. Then firstly, we are going to study acquisition cost. Acquisition cost means the cost of human resource, otherwise called historical cost of human resources, is the investment in human resources which has both revenue means expense, and capital means asset components. This cost may be classified as follows. First one is acquisition cost. Acquisition cost, it refers to the cost incurred in acquiring the right man for the right job at the right time and in right quantity. It includes expenses incurred on recruitment, selection. Entire cost is taken into consideration, including those who are not selected. Here is the types of acquisition cost. First one is recruitment cost, second is selection cost, third one is placement cost. Acquisition cost is used for recruitment and selection and placement. How we can use a recruitment cost in acquisition cost? It is the cost incurred to identify sources of human resources, both from within and outside the organization. For example, cost of recruiting materials, administrative expenses, advertising cost, agencies fees, recruiter's salary, and travel and outstation cost. That is whole recruitment cost. which is used in acquisition cost. Second one is selection cost. It depends on several factors such as the type of personnel being recruited and method of recruitment. The cost of selection depends on the position for which a person is being selected. The higher position, the greater is the selection cost. It includes cost of application blanks, administrative cost of processing applications, conducting test, interview, medical examination, and the salaries, materials, and the consulting fees of the selectors. Then third one is placement cost. It deciding upon the placement. The individual's ability, attitude, interest, temperament, and aspiration are taken into consideration with reference to the job requirement. The cost of placement can be collected for the purpose of human resource accounting. The second type of cost is training and development cost. It refers to the sacrifice that must be made to train a person either to provide the expected level of performance or to enrich the individual skill. Training improves the productivity potential of both the individual and organization. The training cost includes the following. First one is formal training cost. Second is the on-the-job training cost. Third one is special training cost. And fourth one is development programs cost. Now, first is formal training cost. Formal training is what? It refers to the cost incurred in conventional training for the orientation of an individual so that he can operate the work. The remuneration to the training staff and the fixed cost of training schools are essentially human resource investment items. The second one is on the job training cost. Once the employee is placed on the job, he must be trained to do the job efficiently and effectively. And in this regard, the employee learns while he is on his job. In the process, the cost of mishandling the job, the payments to the employee more than what he actually contributes, what and are on the job training cost. Thus, it is an investment in human resources. Third one is special training cost. To achieve the performance standards, sometimes specific training programs may be devised. Such training gets a distinct human resource to the organization. The cost of such training are called special training costs fall under the human resource investment of the organization. Then fourth one is development programs cost. Employee may be allowed to participate in a variety of development programs to enrich their faculty. These programs may range from ordinary lectures to international conferences and seminars. The participants have an opportunity to interact with the other executives on national and international level. Such association involves costs such as delegate fees, travel costs, loss of output during the development programs, etc., which are to be accounted for a human resource investment. Then third one is welfare cost. Management is, after all, creation and maintenance of an environment. Therefore, it is vital function of an employee to provide an atmosphere to the employee to perform their work in healthy, congenial climate conducive to good health and high morale. The expenses incurred for this purpose will facilitate the employee to increase the quality of his civic life. This welfare cost can be classified as follows. First one is welfare and amenities within the organization, and second is welfare outside the organization. The first one is welfare and amenities within the organization means reset shelters and canteens, latrines, urinals, washing and bathing facilities, drinking water and occupational safety, etc. are the welfare facilities provided by the employer within the organization. And second one is welfare outside the organization. Social insurance measures, maternity benefit, medical facilities, educational facilities, housing, recreational facilities, holidays, homes, and leave travel facilities are some of the welfare measures provided outside the establishment. And the fifth one is other cost. There are some other costs which include expenditure on employee safety, ex gratia, multi-trade incentives, and others. In India, Factories Act 1948 has made statutory provisions with regard to employees' health, safety, and welfare. The calculation of the rate of return on human resources is vital. When large amount of investment is made on human resource building by not capitalizing such expenditure, the profits of the organization are understood. Rate of returns can be used as a performance measure. The rate of return can be calculated on the basis of the following premises. The first one is measurement of returns on organizational building, and second one is measurement of returns on organization utilization. First one is measurement of returns on organizational building. When an investment is made in human resources, it is both for the purpose of organization building and the organization utilization. In regards to human resources investment for building the organization, the recruiting and training cost of an individual and group of individuals must be calculated. Also, the orientation cost of building the personnel must be taken into account while making such calculation. And the second one is measurement of return on organization utilization. Measurement of your benefit obtained through utilization of human resources must be done. Besides the fulfillment of objective by the utilization of human resources, must also be taken into account for the measurement of utilization. The clubbed result of measurement of organization building and organization utilization of human resources will provide return on investment. That is about today. Thank you so much.